So hey everyone, a little bit of a different kind of content today. It's sort of like a podcast, so let me know in the comments down below if you like this type of content, or if you don't, of course. Negative feedback's also welcome. Just any feedback, let me know. So today I'm gonna be talking about how I basically started going to the gym, what happened, what I've learned so far, and how it can possibly help you as well to get better, get more jacked if you want to, and get the body of your dreams basically. So to start off with it, let me just quickly start by telling you all how I started going to the gym. The main reason I started going was when I was like 14, 15, somewhere along those lines. I wanted to be impressive to girls, obviously. I think that's how a lot of people actually started. Because there was this girl I liked, and I kind of figured, if I get jacked, I'm sure she'll like me too. Not really how things go, but that's whatever. That's neither here or there. It's a different kind of story. From there, I kind of stuck with it and kept doing it the first couple of years till I was like 17. I didn't go too seriously, just went every now and then, pumping some iron, seeing if I can get some results, which weren't too bad. The results were fine, but they never were anything too serious. And then when I was 17, I started taking training seriously, and I'm actually starting to see a lot of more progress because I really wanted to achieve a certain goal. I wanted to get into the military, so I trained for those kinds of things. So my endurance was top notch, and I was really good at push-ups, sit-ups, all those kinds of stuff. And then later on, when I started, I think when I was like 18, 19, somewhere along those lines, I started taking bodybuilding and powerlifting more seriously, and I started growing in muscle mass and started getting bigger. That kind of led me to where I am today. So I'm obviously very grateful for where I am today and the progress that I've made so far. But that is kind of how my journey started and how I stuck with it. And for now, this is basically the basics. I'm going to be explaining to you what I've learned so far and how I actually came to the point where I am today. So the progressions that I've made is, one, I started training harder, because when I was younger, when I was like 14, 15, 16, I did train, of course, but I didn't train too hard. So I was just kind of like moving weights instead of actually pushing my body and training. So along the years, I kind of learned that I need to do a better job at pushing myself. Kind of training for the military helped me as well to get there basically. So that's the basic when I kind of developed the work ethic that I have now. Just pushing myself really hard and actually pushing my body beyond what it's capable of. So that's something that I've learned, and I think it's something that is very important to do, because half-assing your training is not going to get you anywhere. It's only going to leave you frustrated, and you're never going to grow in the first place. Then after I started training harder, it did work, but at some point it stagnated, like it mostly does, and I started training smarter, which is also a very important part. So basically you start not training whatever muscle group you feel like, but you actually start training muscle groups in a logical sense. So you start training push days, pull days, legs, separate days for stuff, and not just, I kind of feel like training chest today, so let's just hit chest. So I started training smarter, like workout-wise, with what kind of muscle groups I'm training, and I started training smarter in doing the right amount of sets. So not doing too many sets, not doing too little sets. So I started taking those things more seriously as well. And by training smarter and training harder, I started to see a lot of progress too. Then the third thing, when I started stagnating after I did those two things as well, was fix my food. When I was younger, I used to eat like a lot of chips and all those kinds of unhealthy stuff because I enjoyed them and I didn't gain weight, so who cares, right? Well, I care now because it could have saved me a lot of time, and it could have made a lot more progress if I didn't do those kinds of things. Because eating unhealthy is just bad for your body, and your body is not going to progress in the way that it could be. So if you want to progress just like I did, don't fall into the same traps that I did, because learn from my mistakes. This is going to help you out. Don't eat unhealthy foods. If you really want to, stick to like a cheat meal. No cheat days, just a cheat meal once a week. If you really want to progress and get the most amount of results possible, don't eat unhealthy foods altogether. But if you really do want to, try to keep it limited to at least one, or not at least, but one cheat meal every week. Nothing over, just one cheat meal every week. Don't go binge eating a whole bunch of, candy and whatever, all those kinds of unhealthy crap. I don't know what they serve in America, but I know it's a lot unhealthier than here. Don't eat all the unhealthy stuff. You're gonna regret it, and it's gonna hinder your progress in the long run. So that's the third thing that I did to actually fix my progress. The fourth thing that I did, which really brought me a lot of results, I think this is one of the biggest changes that I applied, is to get a workout program. Getting an actual schedule, knowing what exercises to do, when to, the whole schedule, sets, reps, drop sets, whatever, the whole 9 yards, all written out for me, made a huge difference, because I just went to the gym, looked at what I needed to do, did that and nothing else, and I just went home. It saves me time, it saves me energy, because I don't have to think, and it also made me progress so much more, because it actually lets me do and focus on exercises that I don't want to do, but I need to do. Because when I used to make my own programs, you always take into account the exercise that you like more, so you're going to do them. So for example, if you hate split squats, you're not going to put them in your program, because you're like, whatever, I don't feel like doing those, I don't really need to, and you're not going to progress as much, because when you need to do them, just do them anyway. Because when it's written in a program that someone else made for you, you're probably going to do it. So I definitely recommend getting a good workout program. I do have some of those on my website if you're interested in those. Or you can just get them from bodybuilding.com, whatever you're into. But getting a workout program definitely makes a huge difference for how your body is going to progress. Which brings me to the last thing, and the fifth thing, which makes a huge difference too, is track everything. And by everything, I mean everything. Track your sets, your reps, your weights, your food, the whole everything. If you track everything, it's so much easier to see where you're screwing up or when you're doing good. So if you're doing really good and you're seeing progress, you know that whatever you're doing is working, and you can keep doing it until you stop progressing. If you're not progressing at all, you can just go back, take a look. I've been kind of off with my diet for the last couple of days. Fix that part and start progressing again. So tracking everything you're doing is going to make a huge difference in your body composition and just how accurate you are with everything you're doing. So definitely start tracking weights, sets, reps, and food. And if you really want to take it seriously, start tracking your sleep as well. So with all that being said though, where would I advise that you start off? I would start off by getting a workout program and tracking your food. I think those are the most important things. If you combine those two, you're going to see a lot more progress anyway. When you do those two, I would recommend starting training harder. The training smarter part is already taken care of by the workout program. So start training harder and actually push yourself to the absolute limit, because then all the foods you're eating, sleep you're getting, and training you're doing has a purpose. And then later on, you can just look back and see all the progress that you've made. So I would recommend starting those ways. If you do need some help with that, I do online coaching as well if you're interested. If you're not interested, also fine. Just start doing this stuff and you'll start seeing a big difference in your body. So if it is something you're interested in, send me a DM on Instagram or leave me a comment down below, and I'll get in touch with you and we'll see how I can help you. I do meal plans, training programs, and I do one-on-one coaching. So if you need some help, do let me know. But for now, always remember, you owe it to yourself to be better than you were. So keep pushing and keep moving forward.